The guys in my class kept rating girls' bodies out loud in the locker room. When I told them to stop, they said, "Relax, bro, it's just locker room talk." So I let them experience it for themselves. I heard it before I saw it. I was changing after PE when one of the guys, Chad, started going off about some girl in our grade. "Bro, did you see what she was wearing today? She wants attention so bad." Another guy, Brandon, jumped in. "She's like a 6 at best, but she acts like she's a 10. I'd still hit though." They all laughed. This wasn't new. Every day in the locker room it was the same thing. Rating girls, ranking them, talking about what they do to them. I usually just kept my head down and changed as fast as I could. But that day they started talking about my neighbor, a girl named Sophie who I'd known since we were 5. Sophie's got no cheeks, but her face is cute. Solid 7. "Nah, bro, she's a 6, maybe 6.5. I slammed my locker. They all looked at me. "Can you guys shut up? You sound like creeps." The room went quiet. Then Chad smiled. "Relax, bro. It's just locker room talk." I became a target after that. Simp was the nice version. White knight, pick me boy. Probably gay anyway. Brandon started calling me Captain Save-A-Ho, and it stuck. They'd say it just loud enough for me to hear every time I walked in. I started dreading PE, started changing as fast as possible and leaving before anyone could say anything. But I still heard it all. The ratings never stopped. If anything, they got worse. Then one day they talked about my mom. I was changing near the back when Chad said, "Yo, I saw Drew's mom at pickup yesterday. Bro, her cheeks are crazy. I'd tap that so fast." Brandon laughed. "I'd bend her over and teach her a lesson for raising a simp." They all cracked up. I didn't say anything. I just stood there with my jaw tight, trying not to do something I'd regret. A few days later, Chad was explaining the whole thing to some younger kid. "Bro, it's not creepy. It's just how guys are. Testosterone makes us notice girls. It's science. We can't help it." I stood there listening and something clicked. Testosterone makes us notice girls. Can't help it. Science. I thought about that for a long time. And then I thought about Eli. Eli was in my English class. Gay. Confident. The kind of guy who'd wear a crop top to school and dare someone to say something. The next day, I pulled him aside and told him what had been happening. Everything. The locker room. The ratings. The biology excuse. What they said about my mom. Then I told him my idea. His eyes lit up. He didn't even let me finish. "Say less. I know exactly who to bring." Eli's crew didn't all come in at once. That would be too obvious. They trickled in over the first few minutes, one by one, spreading out. By the time Chad noticed something was off, he was surrounded. "Bro, has anyone seen Chad's arms lately? He's been working out." Chad looked up. One of Eli's friends was staring at him from across the room. "Yeah, solid 7, maybe 7.5. His legs are kinda small though. Brings him down. I'd still give him a 6 overall. I'd still hit." Chad stood up. "Why are you guys being weird?" Nobody answered. They just kept going. Brandon walked in and Eli stepped right into his path. "Oh damn, this one's cute. What do we think?" 7, 6.5. His face is mid. Nah, his body carries him. 7. Brandon tried to push past, but Eli didn't move. Just stood there, looking at him. "Where you going?" I wasn't done. Brandon looked genuinely scared. "Dude, move. I'm just looking. Relax." One of Eli's friends walked behind Chad toward the showers. "Damn, Chad, your butt looks fat today. I'd love to take you down." Chad's whole body went stiff. Another one called out from across the room. "Hope you don't drop the soap, Brandon." "Actually, I hope you do." They all laughed. Brandon's face went completely red. He looked like he wanted to cry. I watched from the corner as it continued. Every time Chad or Brandon tried to leave, someone was there. Not touching, just present, watching, rating, commenting. I bet he's a freak. Nah, he looks like he'd just lay there. I'd still hit though. By the end, Chad was sitting on the bench with his head in his hands. Brandon was pressed against his locker like he was trying to disappear into it. Eli walked over to me and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "Thanks for letting us know about the new hangout spot. The view in here is great." Chad finally snapped. "This is harassment. You can't just talk about people like that." I walked over to him, looked him right in the eyes. "Relax, bro. It's just locker room talk." The next week, I walked into the locker room and it was dead silent. No ratings, no comments, just guys changing and leaving. Brandon saw me and looked away. Chad didn't even make eye contact. Turns out they could control themselves. They just needed the right motivation.